First of all, I think your analysis was very straight line. History doesn't run in a straight line.
Kid, you cannot tell your neighbor he is stealing ducks when you are stealing funds.
As High Commissioner, I was wrong. As Charandas Prasad, I reacted naturally how any person would have.
I did not come here for that kind of abuse. I did not come here for that kind of abuse. If you're going to go along that road, I'll walk off.
But it's all okay once they're talking. If they were talking, I could not have been here today.
You got ADHD.
I got nothing.
Calm down.
I think I've done enough in terms of taking our team out of trouble from losing.
Come on, Lou Taylor. That's good. I'm reading the script now, and the first person that comes to my mind to play a detective, but an erratic detective, is Mikhail Rodrigues.
Why an African slap an Indian? Why a man and slap a woman? Look, how you deal with that? You deal with that.
We must encourage platforms like this because it brings together different people and allows for discussions to take place in our country on a multiplicity of fundamental issues.
You apologizing for something you think I did is wrong. I don't want you to do that, and you should not have done that. Hi there, welcome to the live edition, the Friday evening edition of the Freddie Kissoon Show. Please hold your calls. We will take your calls from 10 o'clock. Between now and 10 o'clock, we have a special program in which we will try to look at all the dimensions of a story that is stirring in Guyana and beyond the shores of Guyana. That's the Adrian Young tragedy. The prodigal son has returned, as you can see from your screen. Leonard Gildarie is back, and the man of the moment is sitting right in the middle. We will be asking Mikhail Rodrigues, but I think he preferred to be known as Guyanese critic. I don't know. He will tell us which of the two names he wants to be called at. So, without further ado, let's hand over to the prodigal son, and let's talk about the Adrian Young tragedy. Leonard?
Thank you very much, Freddie. Good night, Mikhail. And
good night, guys.
Folks.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a little while, folks, and I've missed you guys. I guess I would have to be back here a little more as I find time. I decided to come out back because this thing has been riveting this country for the past couple of weeks, and it is not our finest moment or moments. We have let our guards down, and as a country which is supposed to be moving very quickly, we have not shown the capacity to be mature, especially our guardians or gatekeepers who are supposed to be holding the fort for us. On that particular evening, April 23rd, I was at home, and just before I go there, because I don't want us to lose track of what is going to be said here tonight, I happen to know a little. Because I paid attention, and there's some logical thinking that went into it that just would push us in a direction that some things just does not make sense. I want to say to all mothers for on Sunday, happy Mother's Day before we forget and before there's any fighting in the room tonight. I watched on that evening, April the 23rd, I heard that there was a standoff at Doubleday, and families were gathered there. And around 9-10 o'clock, I saw Guyanese critic Mikhail went live, and I followed him thereabouts, and he went around the pool, and the family was saying that there's a missing girl, and they were not being let in, and the Guyanese critic went into the place, was allowed to go into the place. Lots of questions over that, and that video that he took would have played a critical role in the evolving situation. So I want to jump right into it. Critic, you went there and you played a role in my mind and you told me in my mind that that body was not in the pool. After that night, when you left that place there, were you convinced there was nobody in that pool?
When I walked around that pool, I was convinced. I did not see anything that suggests that there was a body in that pool when I walked around that pool.
And are you of the same opinion, or have you changed your mind?
I did not see a body in that pool. Now, me saying that I did, we got to review the footage. Me saying that I did not see a body in that pool is a matter of fact. Evidence suggested that a body was in that pool. Now, what I am being held to is the fact that I said the pool is clear, but there's evidence that suggests much confusion. Lots of questions have not been asked because, for the most part, this has been politicized. It's not been allowed to take its normal course. And I think that was afforded the opportunity after the major blunder by the Guyana Police Force. Major blunder. The Guyana Police Force is at fault in more ways than one for how the public perceived this situation. Because of the Guyana Police Force inaction in investigating or moving forward with this case, it has caused the public at large to draw an opinion that there's some sort of a conspiracy. Now, again, people are claiming their claims out there in the public, not many, but their claims, that I went there to cover up.
How did you go to that place?
Not the best of stories, but has to be told. I was in Tushin at a 9-day. Drove past, received a call. Let me play for you the happenings, the direct happenings.
Did the owners of the place ask you to go there?
No. Myself and the owners had a bit of a standoff. So that was not known. So this has to be played. This is important. So this is a recording. So this is.
Yeah, buddy.
So this is a recording, as you see the phone, the times, right? All my phone calls are recorded. So once you call me, it's recorded. This is the happenings of that night and the calls that I received.
Yeah, buddy. Tonight, we got a problem here at Lenora, man. Lenora, Tushin, my double day. They got the 11-year-old girl was swimming in the pool at this hotel here, and she gone missing from 1:30 and the owner of the hotel saying that none of the cameras in the hotel, he walked in a brand new hotel. He want to give nobody no information, nothing, just lock up in the hotel, he locked the doors and he want nobody coming.
And who's the speaker?
Nobody crowd out there about?
Just a random call, one of the family members, one of the people who were there and looking for her.
And the people them still here to start morning time, broken up thing about the
I'm coming back there right now.
Alright,
they're around the corner. I'm coming back there right now.
Alright, good. Without him.
This is the first class I received at 10:09.
Yeah, bro, I did hear you then. Which one you there? The land people? No, this land cruiser. Oh, safe. I'm coming out. Yeah, critics. Where you there? I didn't front here still them thinking but the police come.
Roger, tell them sort the whole fucking building.
Yeah, but them in doing that, they just come and they pose up out here too.
No, they gotta go and search. I just talked to the commander, so they're gonna make move and search the whole building. Every room. Safe.
Well, they here stand up outside still, but people now getting more. The fire truck now come and CID now come. Everything has escalated more out here.
Roger that. Take out pictures and got it. Chuck. You want to pay the owner for the hotel? Call a block. He call a wagon, a tent wagon, and drive the wagon straight by the car door, by the hotel door, and put somebody inside the escape. The crowd block off the whole thing so they can't decide in them lock now and drive for the escape. But we then lock up in a car with somebody in front of the hotel. You know who in the car? No, you can't see who the person that's run up come in. Two persons empty the car. You can't see who right now. The car just lock up in the car. Everything tinted. So we try to avoid the car from going away. The fucking car, you know. Yeah, well, it's block off. Take a picture of the car here. I going to message you for a WhatsApp number. You take a picture of the car and send to me right away. Good. Thanks.
No, I was active all. This is clear as day what happened. I don't know the owner. I don't know the owner's son. I was driving past. I was at a 9-day in the community. From there, after I went and do my video, so I drove straight to another crime scene at Soesdijk, where 3 people were murdered and 1 committed suicide.
Critic, you're not unconnected. You would know a lot of people and you would hear things from time to time. Is there any indications, any facts that are now coming out to you that could say to the people, because the big question, the elephant in the room would always be whether there was a body in the pool. Because if there's a body in the pool, it is consistent with the drowning findings of the autopsy that was conducted. Did you...
But not consistent with my video.
No.
But here's the question. Mm-hmm. Do you have any information or which you could say to the people that there was a body in the pool? Contrary to what you
when the autopsy report has not been concluded, and only then that could be said.
Yes. Let me go through this with you slowly and pellucidly. What time did you film the pool?
I would have filmed the pool if I received this call, the first call. If I received the first call at, I would have filmed the pool at about 10:30.
The evening?
In the evening.
Good. Number 2, and this is a commonsensical question from journalists. You will find this anywhere in the world. What instrument did you use to film the pool?
A cell phone.
You used a cell phone?
A cell phone.
So you took your cell phone and you went around the pool. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this, and this is not an easy question for a non-technical person to answer. Do you think technologically a cell phone can cover the depth of a pool, especially if the pool has dirtiness in it, because that discolors the clearness of the pool? I'm asking you 2 questions in one. Are you satisfied as a non-technical person that a cell phone can do an effective job at 10:30 in the night covering a pool? And could you say definitively if the pool can be seen clearly from the bottom of the pool at one end to the other?
No, the pool was murky. But again, when you say non-technical, to some extent, I've been doing videos for 10 years now with
No, I'm
the
talking
phone.
about the use of a
cell phone. No, but I would be considered to be an expert in that. The cell phone could not have done a perfect job of seeing to the bottom of the pool. What people were relying on is not the cell phone. It's me saying that the pool was clear. The live just really solidifies that I was there, I was live, and I said in the video, and I think we should look at the video. So
the Guyanese critic is coming to you.
So let's look at the video.
Just outside of the Doubleday Hotel, where an 11-year-old
Let's go straight to that part where I go inside, and you'll have an understanding of what really this is. What is outside? This is me going inside, and I will explain even in detail how I got inside, because people are saying the thing me there. So let's look at the video of contention.
You come through the door, there's the process. There's people here, and most of the times, most people, if you don't go to the counter, you come in most likely to entertain yourself in the hotel, in the hotel area. So you go to the lobby if you want to hook up, forget a room, you'd go there, and then you walk in. Now when I walk in, I see camera there. I see camera up top. Well, there's lights, there's not cameras, right? But I see camera there. And I asked the management, I said, what's going on with the cameras? There's a female washroom here, there's a bar here. The management explained to me that when you come, and if you're going to use the pool, and as you can see, you see the pool here, clear, like when the family...
Bear in mind that I want this to be looked at. I am seeing nothing in the pool. Video, please. We're talking about a video here. Y'all concentrate. Next thing they're going to say, we're trying for corrupt the thing. Y'all concentrate on what y'all doing. You could leave the bottom. You could leave the lower thirds. So, there's a partition here. And I will show the empty pool. There's a partition straight across here. This area of the pool is 4 feet in depth. There's a partition and then there's a bottom here. If you see the pool, you realize there's a bottom here. Only 4 feet. You can't see that. You can't see at the bottom of the 4 feet area. Here was some of the questions nobody has been asking. Yeah, full. And we can go back to the video. Nobody has been asking. If my video is the premise to suggest that Ariana was not in the pool at 10:30 in the night, why were the family during the day searching for her body in this pool? Why did the family, as the grandmother said, and I could go back to the grandmother, why did the family, if it is expected that my video is to show clearness of the pool and show the bottom of the pool, why would anybody gone into a pool during the day that they could have seen in? Why were they searching in the pool?
No. You may have been misinterpreting what the grandmother said.
Let me go back.
I listened to what the grandmother said. She never said that the pool was searched at her request or other requests.
All right.
She said when the child was missing, there was a man training some people to swim.
So, did you look at the grandmother interview from my video?
No, I saw...
Well, let's do the grandmother, and then we will, right?
We will dissect her.
Yes, let's listen to the grandmother.
What is here? Also, who took the child out? Remember, the intention here is to have a nice time with your family. When one of your family goes missing, I would want to think the answer that is given by the police, the Guyana Police Force obviously has to do better. The answer, if you're going to say go home to what? What is the intention? You would have to explain to the family members. It is obvious that the Guyana Police Force need to explain to the family members how this matter is going to be solved. What are they going home to? Let's talk to the grandmother. Mom here and the grandmother is here. The answer that is given by the police, the Guyana Police Force obviously has to do better. The answer, if you're going to say go home to what? What is the intention? You would have to explain to the family members. It is obvious that the Guyana Police Force need to explain to the family members how this matter is going to be solved. What are they going home to? Let's talk to the grandmother. Mom, just give me an explanation from your perspective what transpired here.
What transpired is that we came here about 20 past 1. And my grandchildren then we come to bring them out to bed and so on. And when they come and went and changed their clothes. When they changed their clothes, they come back and give them money to buy the band. Caroline, you get on the band, you can with the band. So they went. And about 20 to 2, the brother and the sister come and say, Grandma, I'm hungry. And I say, okay, yeah, sit down if you have food. So say, man, Gabrielle, Ella, go and call your big sister. Call Adriana, forget something. So when she get up now, when she goes, she said, Granny, Adriana is not in the pool. So at that time, I dropped everything I was doing. And we end up, the whole siblings, everybody end up looking, searching, looking, and we ain't finding no thing. About 2:30, I went over the road and I tell my husband, I said, take me.
Where do you think she was looking and searching?
She didn't say she was looking and searching in the pool.
No, but where do you assume she was looking and searching? Well, let's
the parameters of the hotel.
Let's hear.
Station. The police did come back with us, they search, but they only search this part of the building. Then they search the other part. We come out back and the police, we looking for camera. We went to the sawmill man up there. He was saying, he said, man, okay, yeah, come in. We sit down there like an hour looking. We ain't find nothing. When we end up come back here, we waiting for these people over here to come home to get the camera. In any case, my nephew come and he started to run the camera and he found it. I look, I see my granddad come out nowhere. Here, nowhere from the other gate, musician, nowhere. That mean, to me, she is still in the building. To me, but
tell me something. When your family, you and your family members came in here, how much of you guys came in here?
About 20.
20.
Yeah, we was the plentiest in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a process there when you go in? They put on a band, they recognize you. How does it work? Do you pay to go in?
Well, honestly, the first time I come here, they study. And we come in, and then they said, only to go in the pool, you have to pay for going in the pool. Okay, 500 for children and 1,000 for adults. So I done change my clothes to go in and my grandchildren, then most of them they done in the pool. Might as well she was in the pool. The only one didn't go in the pool is my big grandma. I think she like she didn't go in the pool at that time. So when she go in the pool, she said she didn't see Adriana in the pool. Because I asked her, I said, Kaya, when you go in the pool, did you see Adriana in the pool? She said, no, man. I said, okay, and we end up we get information that she there somewhere in Masjid Street. We went with
where you get this information from?
The police.
Tell you that you're in Masjid Street.
Somewhere there, the car where them pick up down the street.
So the police is claiming that they are aware that she was picked up by a specific car, yes, and they're tracing where the car is going.
Yes. And then they get a call that the car reached the Perfect. So, and it was early, we could have reached there, they clean. We could have reached there to end up, go with them. Because we didn't quarreling or making a scene, we didn't working with the police. But at this hour, they're asking me to leave. Where we leaving to go, we ain't getting no answer. And my heart taking me back to there.
Did you talk to the management of the hotel?
No. I know who is the management. But the son, people point out and say, look, he's there. All he come and push your hand in his pocket and he say, yeah, I'll check the pool. As soon as he said, check the pool, I had enough civilians, everybody jumped in the pool.
All right, explain.
We had enough siblings, everybody jump in the pool.
No, don't.
You want to listen it out completely?
After she said they jumped into the pool. Yeah.
All right.
Because I heard another interview with her.
And he said, yeah, I'll check the pool. As soon as he said, check the pool, I had enough civilians, everybody jumped in the pool, which it had a couple strangers, them also jumping and hell.
So she's not in the pool?
She's not in the pool. That for sure, she's not in the pool. That is for sure, she's not in there. But what more we gonna do? We ain't know what more to do. They asking we to leave here. We can't leave.
You want to hear this song? So, any questions there for Darren, Freddie?
Well, I don't have detective skills, but I heard another interview with the grandmother. I think.
Can we stick to what you just heard? Or?
No. Contextually, I can't stick to what she said. When in another episode she said things that, in another interview she said things that contradict what she said there. Okay. I saw an interview with, I think it's Sweetwater Marshall, in which she said, now you see the investigators are going to look at all of this, in which she said the girl was in the pool, and when she asked her where the girl is, they said she was in the pool by the ladder, the ladder that goes into the pool. That's an interview you need to look at. Then she said, she asked her, where is this girl? And some of her relatives said to her, look, she is there. That's out of the pool. So there is a contradiction there. But the other thing is, she said relatives jump in the pool. Good, and was looking for her. I'm just being provocative here. To what extent did they look in the pool? Which areas did they go? Did they cover the murky area that you said? You said the pool on a witness stand. That would be very, very important when you said the pool was murky. I think it all revolves around the nature of the search, the extent of the search, and who was doing the search. Gildarie?
I saw some interviews and some statements coming from the father, among others. And one of the things that he said that stuck in my head is that there was a swimming coach that went into the pool. He said that.
The grandmother said that.
And I think maybe the grandmother, but I think I heard the father said that there was a swimming coach that went into the pool.
No, you're saying think. You heard the father said, or you think you heard the father said? This is a matter of a sensitive nature. We can't think in things. Either you know
one of the
or you
family
don't
members,
know.
Right. But I'm veering mostly to the father that said it's a family member that said that a swimming coach, and I heard that not one time.
So let me put this for you. Let me come. Here. You were not there. This thing has taken foolish turns in many cases because people are talking about things they don't know. The mother was not there and the father was not there. So I don't think you are correct to suggest there was a swimming coach. The mother was not there and the father was not there. This grandmother took out siblings. How you telling me the father said, if there are things as it relates, the father, the first time the father came into the picture.
No, he's saying the father saying that.
No, but again, it cannot be factual if the father was not present there. The father was not one of the 20 people.
Okay, go.
A grandmother went with 20 people. The father was not one.
But what you arguing could be hearsay, what the father is saying, but I'm saying, I heard with my ears.
We can't use hearsay.
No, but
this is a sensitive nature.
Yeah. The question is, was any search done? Because we centering on the search. You have a video in which it shows the pool. So I'm saying, and Freddie contention, if I'm hearing him go into the direction, is whether any searches were conducted in the pool.
The grandmother said the people, they had enough siblings and they went in and searched the pool, and people who were around who know to swim.
The grandmother just said that. In another interview, she said when they were looking in the pool, a man teaching students to swim heard her call and was involved in looking. I would like that. Up to now, it's not more than 2 weeks. And we need to find out who is that. Whatever he's a trainee, a coach. She said he was teaching students to swim and he joined in the search. I think the Canadian investigator must talk to him. That
Freddie,
trainer.
Freddie, here was my contention. I am being held ransom for saying that the pool was clear 10:30 in the night. I am asking if a pool is clear that I could see at the bottom 10:30 in the night, why would have anybody had to go in the pool to search for anything during the day when the sun was hot. This incident happened at 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and so things were saying 2 o'clock, search happening. The sun is up in here, vying down in this pool. I am asking, how am I, the person who is held here now, to say, well, here, Critic got the main evidence of a video showing the pool clear, when there is evidence clear by the family and everybody to suggest the pool was murky all the time. Why did anybody have to go in the pool to search? Why couldn't they just stand at the side and look into the pool? Can anybody explain that?
Okay.
Day, night. People searching in the pool, a man with a camera at the top of the pool.
By asking the question whether it was done or not, would that push aside the fact that it was done? If the people then jump in the pool and search, you're saying whether it made sense for them to search if it is high daytime. I'm saying to you, if they jump in the pool for saying to satisfy their mind, if they did it, it is neither here nor there. Whether it makes sense.
No, but it's not making sense. When you're doing, and Gildarie, you know, I have been on many cases. Actually, as a matter of fact, you invited me to Kaicho News. I didn't go to Kaicho News. When I became the lead crime reporter at Kaicho News, you invite me there. You understand? You know how investigations, or you know how I do my hundreds of cases. I am saying you can't expect me verificate video, please. So just for clarity here in what we're looking at. This here is the pool. What you're seeing at the top of the pool there is a film, right? What you're seeing here is a 8 feet, 8, and you see the one little thing here, made out of tiles, a mark suggesting that is the 8 feet part of the pool. Let's go.
So for 8 feet.
Let's go down. So I zoomed in there. I zoom out here now. Now I want to bring something to your attention. This is the area where the ladder is to go into the pool, right? Just about here, somewhere about, these are lights that are reflecting, by the way, from outside, right? This pool didn't have any lights. Just about here, there's a black hole just 2 feet below the pool. Just 2 feet in the pool, there's a black hole, black like this. If you look at it here, nothing can be seen here. Now, let me go to the picture. Now, let me show you. This is what I'm showing you. Just the same place that I was videoing. Look at this. It is only 2 feet in the pool. And if you look in the water, you would realize you could not have seen even this 2 feet in the pool, much as 8 feet down at the bottom of the pool, where the body would have obviously been. This here is a filter. The water comes out, it goes at the bottom. It's a circulating, a revolving filter system. Look at this, clear as day. Look at it contrast to a white pool. And now we go back to come one more time. So it's right at the corner of the step. This would be same, just a zoom in angle to where I am standing now with this video. We go back to the video. Let me just get the right spot of the video.
We are not responsible. 6, 7,
right.
And
so just a little touch back. Roger that. Look at this pool. Look here, exactly here. Nothing can be seen in this pool. 2 feet in. But people jump at this because it's politically convenient. I have not said anything. And people say, oh, Critic, is the video. Oh, Critic in come back, he said nothing. I was in the vicinity. And you know what nobody paid attention to? I don't presently do a morning live. I do nothing on social media. I haven't been doing anything on social media 2 months before Ariana's tragedy. So when I came, I was passing, do what I do the best, and I never answer. But when I look at it, I can't. Honestly, when I heard the body was found inside, I felt, wow, this is a massive conspiracy. But the evidence can't lie.
And along the same note, Freddie, you have something to say. Go ahead.
No, I'm going to ask him. His train of thought his train of thought is going in the direction in which he's saying that there is a certain opaqueness in that pool and you can't rule it out. But I'm going to ask you now, because you've been around a long time, and I am one of the persons who reject how the Guyana Press Association views you, that you don't have any journalistic credentials. You have. You worked at Kaito News for 2 years. You've investigated. I'm asking you, did you say grammatically, linguistically, in colloquial Creole terms, did the following words come out of your mouth after you filmed the pool 10:30 tonight? There was nobody in that pool.
Listen to it.
Did you ever say that?
Let's listen to it.
I'm asking you now.
No, but let's listen to it.
You must know what you said. Tell me now.
I can't remember.
You can't remember.
I am giving you everything. This is what I said.
You meant to explain to me that when you come in, but still, if I don't know the depth of this pool. So if you go, that is saying 8 feet. That is saying 7 feet 6 inches, 5 feet 5 inches. If you look at it, right? That's saying 5'5". That's saying 7'6". That's saying 8 feet. So for 8 feet is reasonable depth for a pool. So you would have to go in and check in the pool, right? The young lady is not in the pool. So it could be ruled out that she drowned. Family members who are now just outside here are visibly concerned and worried.
Stop. Bear in mind, I have already been briefed by the grandmother, the mother, and everybody else about the fact that police told them she left with a car. I'm not looking for a drowning victim. And I come with 8 years of experience. 8 years. Not one instance where a young lady between the ages of 10 and 15 disappear and they drowned. They always come back. It is always getaway cases. So I am with that. This is matter of fact. I with that, and the grandmother, the police, and everybody telling me she gone.
I want to ask you something which your experience should allow you to answer it, and Gildarie too. I am the layman among the three of you. If you take your video of this pool, and I know top security agencies have that kind of sophisticated equipment. I know that. They have equipment where they can look through concrete to see everybody. Could high resolution camera be put to your video and you can see the bottom of the pool?
No.
There is no.
What is captured in the video? Now, a high resolution camera could have been used to assess what was in the pool.
But it can't be applied to your
used to assess my video. You got editing software that can enhance the video. But again, it is highly dependent on what quality of video was captured.
Which is your video we're talking about?
Yes, you got. If it was a higher quality of video, they could have dissected it based on its megapixels. In this case, the limit and extent is to where you go. And you can't see past the murkiness.
There are several things that went wrong with this case. The police posture, and we saw the...
posture is a blunder.
No, well, I'm going to use posture, which is a very respectful word. And we saw the decisions that were taken by the upper echelon of this government as well as the police force to deal with the commander, and I think rightfully so, and for those other people. Conveniently enough, somebody who happens to be a civilian was the one who gave the police the information about...
Wrong information.
Now, I saw, this is one thing I want to veer off here. I saw a lot of people talking about the people from the hotel. This is a yearly something they go in and do, and they go in and do a ritual and kill. Let me tell you...
Unfortunate.
Yeah. It is... I find that preposterous. I find it unacceptable. I'll tell you why. If that is indeed the case, you have a multi-million-dollar hotel. That is, I think the other part of the hotel went up about a year back. Why would you go, anybody in the right mind, Freddie Kissoon and Mikhail, go and kidnap somebody or abduct somebody right on the premises, knowing that the attention is going to be on the hotel management.
Everybody's there.
Everybody is there. So that cannot be, and I don't know where that came from, but that is totally unacceptable.
It came from Guyanese with political affiliations who are funded and paid to create confusion, followed by a white cross section of ignorant Guyanese who are gullible and would believe anything.
Let me intercept you there. I think because of this tragedy, and I am going to go out on a limb here this evening, I think because of this tragedy, people have restrained themselves in asking the parents questions. Those parents have contributed to the circulation of bizarre rumors. Let me tell you what I heard the mother said in a video. When she was interviewed, she said she went to either the owner or the manager and said, give him a daughter, the man. Give him a daughter, please give him a daughter. The mother said that. What you think that contributed to? She was saying, all of these people calling for investigation have to know that the investigators are going to investigate, are going to question the parents. That mother said, I've heard her saying, she begging the owner, man, give him a daughter. She's implying then that the owner kidnapped her daughter.
There's another side of that. You know, out of
the mother said that.
You know, out of this entire situation, what has me going critic is the fact that we refuse to accept any other narrative than what is being put out there. Let me give you an example. There's a big cover-up from Irfan Ali and Jagdeo. And I find it very difficult. Let me tell you why. Logic is logics. If you have an election year, and you're heading into election year, this is the same Irfan Ali and Jagdeo they're talking about. And I don't have any issues, or I'm not affiliated, I'm not a party member, I don't have anything. In fact, I cause them whenever I feel like. I say to critic what I don't like, and I say to the opposition what I don't like. I'm a citizen of this country. But if you have an election year, and this is the same government which asked a minister or accepted the resignation of a minister, a sitting minister, this is the same government who would have said to the world after sanction was saying that we want no party.
But I don't think anybody believe
why would you
that the government is covering up.
No, but that is the narrative. That is the narrative that's been sold.
The opposition and certain anti-government.
Why would you buy a narrative that says that the government is trying to do that in the election year? You got to be committing political suicide to do that. And when I listen to
you think the opposition is logical?
At the rituals, at the cover-up, and I'm saying no. The Jagdeo and Irfan are sitting at wherever they're sitting, and you're so busy doing things international, you got Venezuela breathing down your back. You got time for somebody who's not a political party member or whatever that is there to go cover up.
Political party member?
Sorry.
They throw Mohammed's under the bus. They throw Nigel Gildarie. They throw anybody
I think
that affects the PPP in a negative manner.
They throw
them under the bus.
They throw you under the bus.
Yes.
But hold on.
You under the bus.
Under the bus. They throw anybody under the bus.
I'm not asking throwing anybody. Did they throw you under the bus?
Anybody that affects them negatively, they're going to make laugh after me. But Jagdeo stood up and said we don't support this man cussing people and all them things now.
But hold on.
Yes,
but you understand.
They made reference to me.
You understand the point I'm trying to make. You have all these narratives that are coming out, and everybody buy it wholesale without being logical. Could it have been a possibility, Freddie Kissoon and Mikhail, that the police went down there? A rich man says that these people in front of my hotel, they said the girl drowned there, and we not seen any drowned body, and they want to break up the hotel and come in my hotel. Could you come down? Could it have been a narrative like that the police went there? A rich man.
It couldn't have been. That is what it was.
Well, I believe that it could have been a combination of facts, and the police screwed up. And I'm glad that the government has said we're going to review. We want to see the 911 calls being recorded. I want to see different protocol or updated protocol and missing persons, how we treat it. But it cannot be that we continue in this mature, or it's supposed to be a mature era, that we continue to do the same thing the same ways and accept it. Imagine because of a protest, a couple of people, and maybe it's going to teach them a lesson too, that you can't burn, you can't rob and believe that you're going to get away with it. That's nonsense.
So full disclosure, the day after the body was found, when the body was found, the day after this tragedy, I said this is one hell of a cover-up and a conspiracy. Because I had no explanation for why the police would try to say that there's a video with the girl gone with a car. And then didn't respond to say, well, here, it was a genuine mistake. False information we get, whoa. And false information was stolen only today. A young lady was charged for claiming that she saw the autopsy. She witnessed, and it's not nothing what the doctors are saying. She was charged and remanded to prison for that. And another person is wanted.
They arrested him.
Misinformation. A doctor who experienced, witnessed the autopsy, came out and spoke publicly.
I think
only to be attacked. The father never answered. The father took the daughter out of the pool. Her nose had fraud. The father knew what it was. Never one day answer. While people like Michael Francis Bailey spreading rumors about cotton wool in nose. The father never said nose, not cotton wool in nose, man. His frat was in her nose.
You know what I would like to know? And we haven't heard it yet, and he's shutting his mouth. Why did the family ask Darren Wade to step down? We can only speculate, but I'm saying
they're not satisfied with the doctors and Darren Wade's response.
Right. They're not
satisfied that the truth is being presented. The facts is being presented.
I believe Darren Wade resigned or removed himself because I think they're telling Darren Wade, you must say this, you must say that.
Notice a matter of fact.
They brought in a pathologist who is the head pathologist for an important state of the 50 states of the U.S., Delaware. They said we want him. Yet before this lady saw the postmortem results or any paper relating to the postmortem results, before she saw any even a line of written about the post, she wanted a second postmortem. And you are telling me the mother and father should not answer questions, or we don't want to ask them questions because they're grieving. They lost the child.
I can tell you, the doctor who recruits himself, the family said the family doctor, who was the family doctor, persons close to him, said that he had to recruit himself because he was being asked to say things that he did not see.
Darren Wade got
on to today, the Guyana police force has not been afforded the opportunity, although they blundered so much. You got to give credit where credit is due. They have not been afforded the opportunity to interview every one of the persons in the pool. By the way, of the 20 persons. And here why? Because the family have not been forthcoming on who exactly these people are.
We don't know who's the man that was training students to swim. Can they ask the man to come and appear at the press conference?
Hold on, Freddie. I don't want to be so insensitive, and this is me feeling.
No, but Guyana is more important than any individual.
But you cannot blame the family too. Look, to be fair,
nobody's blaming the family. We're talking about contribution,
but they're
to whitening a situation.
Look, I understand.
This nation is in pain, Gildarie.
Yeah, but you can't be. I believe it's.
But how insensitivity comes in? Because when the mother is saying,
there's a simple explanation.
The mother is saying she went to the hotel. Give me my daughter, no. Give me my daughter.
They want to hear. Look, they're saying and they're being fed. Maybe people are advising them. And people are saying,
well, it's obvious people advising. Obvious opposition people advising.
If they're not hearing that, you remember that came out in the postmortem? And what did he say? There's some of that wrong. He's clearly not accepting that.
But what is he going to act? He said
by the way, guys, I only got about 10 more minutes with y'all. I got to leave here. I got a friend coming in from New York. Not at her own will, but she's being brought back from America. Guided back here by two border agents, and that's important. I got head off for that. There's big news, so y'all hammer away at me.
Okay. No, there's no question of hammering away. You have conceded, and thousands of people are watching this. You've conceded that based on what the grandma and other people said, you declared that there was no body in the pool.
And I'm looking. I could not have seen at the bottom of the pool.
Right. Well, I think that now is a huge part of the investigation. You will obviously will be contacted by the RCMP man. He will obviously ask to see your video, etc. The thing that I am looking at is
bear in mind, an autopsy has not been concluded. It's shown that she drowned. It's shown that she was in the water. But to conclude an autopsy of this nature and give enough,
report
there needs a need for a toxicology report to suggest what and where the water that was in her lungs, where was it from?
You know what's interesting? So there's two things that stood out at me. When Dr. Caleb, who was one of the guys in one of the doctors, said, he said something to the effect that we were very clear from the beginning, from the onset, that this was a drowning. That was one thing that stood out at me. And I think one of the things that people are not paying attention to is that within 12 hours, it could be, we don't know if we're going to get to the bottom of it or not. In the space of 12 hours, an entire investment, a businessman lost his entire hotel. Yes, we cannot equate it and maybe not even whisper it in the same sentence that a child lost her life. But the fact is...
But where was the police when they were lighting the fire?
Who lit the fire? Let's say there's a crime scene. So there's a whole bunch of protocols that has to be good, that the police has to look after from here. Make sure that there's never ever repeat here for something that has happened, for a hotel that burned down, for the man that lost it. Let's assume the police announced that they took DNA from that man, right? I don't understand why would the police take DNA from the owner. Why not from 20 other persons?
Right, why not the parents? Why not?
Did you see that?
But I am wondering if we're opening the lines at 10 o'clock, and I'm wondering if viewers out there are not asking themselves, well, what does Mikhail Rodrigues think about this whole situation? What does Gildarie think? I am now going to say to those thousands of viewers what I think. It's unfortunate. I have a daughter who was 11 years old, so I know how you feel about a kid. Gildarie has children, I have children. My heart goes out to anyone who loses a kid. I believe there were certain types of situation around that Wednesday in the pool, and that girl unfortunately drowned. That's my take. I am now saying to viewers, I believe the girl drowned in the pool, and there was not a meticulous, massive effort to say, let's clear this pool. And the police should have cleared the pool.
The police should have drained the pool.
Now, having said that, I believe there are two emanations that are threatening the stability of this country over the Adriana Young tragedy. One is the anti-government forces. I don't want to say the opposition alone, because I think people like the Ghana human rights, civil society groups that are insanely hostile to the government are getting into it. They want to make this thing as much as possible. And some of them have become doctors, like Dexter Todd. Dexter Todd said the body should have been swollen. Any doctor would tell you the swollen body, it depends on the days the body's in the water. The girl was
nothing about forensics.
Number two,
express the level of ignorance in
Amanzo Walton said this brutal murder. The word brutal connotes the application of violence to body, to
which
limbs.
a body did not have any injuries or harm to it.
The second emanation that is contributing to this white thing, grieving parents are taking advice, and I'm advising the young family, be careful if you take advice from people who are using your daughter for political purposes. That is clear.
Well, there's a new lawyer now, and the lawyer is Dexter Todd. And here is 2 days back we said, if she drowned, it was in limited amount of water. Her body was not submerged. If she drowned in the pool, her body would have been bloated and swollen with water, entering all her tissues and organs. She would have been at the bottom of the pool for 2 or 3 days, and she would have surfaced face up and bloated.
And I wrote a lengthy article responding to this, by the way, with facts.
Yeah. This is a homicide
But
case.
why we have so much doctors and they don't correct the ignorance of thought that the bloated body depends on the days. She wasn't in the pool, she didn't drown and come up 3 days after. Why so many doctors you know why? Nobody wants to comment on this because they're afraid. They're afraid how you could say that about the parents. But I am contending on this program. This country is bigger than anyone else, and we have to ask questions about this tragedy. Questions to separate fact from fiction.
Freddie Kissoon said something there that he believed that she's wrong. As I'm gonna ask you, you were the one that did this video that was so very telling, and you made some statements based on some interviews that you would have done, and you went there. The girl is missing. She would have gone out of the place. In view of the facts and what you would have explained to us, and we have to put this on records tonight. What is your take on what transpired that day, and where do we go from here?
I cannot say anything else other than she drowned in that pool that I did not see her in before. I can't say anything else in light of the preliminary results of the autopsy and what most likely will be the results of which I don't know, but can't be anything else other than the water from there in her lungs, in her stomach. And then if you're looking at things from high above and you're looking at things in their context and you're looking at evidence and not from a perspective whereas you're anti-government or you got biased or you're against certain kind of religions, right? If you're not coming from that context, the only thing that could be drawn, this is a James Bond, Mission Impossible kind of conspiracy. Now imagine so I will not be making a definite or giving a definite answer on my take until the complete autopsy report is in, because I have a lot of evidence I've been gathering. I got from the time I get the first call, I have everything recorded. There's much more that I have that I could show. Nobody's asked this question. Every aspect of this instance, of this incident, this tragedy was recorded. Every aspect. Not one video or photo of people in the pool looking for the girl. And Guyanese love the video, everything. When they're done and they start rioting and looting, they even video that the thief even the Chinese. From everything else. It started with my video and everything else was recorded. Except...
So people jumping in the pool.
No video exists of that.
And instructor teaching students to swim. And nobody said, when these young men gone in the pool and looking...
Not one video. There's no video of anything as such.
Yeah, there's a lot of gaps too. From the time when the report was made to management, did they clear the pool? We don't know all of that. Did the party continue in the pool? Did the people continue swimming? There's so many things that's missing.
I want to know. I don't know. I want the grandmother to tell us when she said, look, you're holding on to the rail. And then she came out and the grandmother said, where is she? She said, her relative said, look her there. Look her there, where? Did she see, when she saw the girl, where next did the girl go? There is so many.
By the way, where that rail is 8 feet. So which rail? When you step off the rail, you're going down.
See the interview anyway.
Guys, I gotta leave any other time. Yes.
I want to ask you straight. No. I don't want to use your word straight. That's bench up nonsense. I want to ask you again. Did people threw you under the bus? You said it twice.
I am saying anybody that brings a negative attention to the PPP, that throw them under the bus.
Right. But you're a survivor, of course, right?
I'm a survivor, but remember, I'm not a PPP man.
We open
I am not a PPP. It doesn't mix up people. You understand? Nigel Darmlal would have been a minister, playing parts in the executive and everything else. Mayor Thomas and everybody parts of the BBB, but them ain't got no time with nobody. One time, BK, Brian Tiwari was one of the biggest supporters. They get on the wrong side, they throw you under the bus.
We got Mikhail, thanks for being here. Let me shake your hand again.
Thanks.
I must say, you conducted yourself journalistically and professionally. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Operator, please put Leonard Gildarie number on the screen, please. We're taking the calls now.
I think the next time we talk about that pump station, so you'll go ahead and have an IC.
Roger that.
Operator, please put Gildarie, what's the number?
682-1256.
Thanks, guys.
Hope you forget it.
682
1256.
1256. Please put the number on the screen, operator. We're opening the lines now.
You have a telephone there?
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Freddie...
we're opening the lines now.
Yeah. I think in the meantime, we could probably have a chat.
Oh, that's quick.
My phone, please.
You have a phone here? Yeah, this is yours.
I like the phone there.
This is not your laptop.
Yes, this is mine, but it's got the information. You can just close it down.
Thank you.
Please bring that. That's the WhatsApp number.
But
we can take your calls until 10 o'clock.
Let me go right ahead. Okay. Let me take. Okay. Let me go ahead and take this one here. Hold on. They got one here. Good evening, caller. Yeah, go right ahead.
Congratulations with you guys trying to figure out what's happening. Well, we got more than one person on the same.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Chief.
I got something is beating me. I don't know. You guys can help me out here. They say the girl drowned in the pool. As everybody's saying the autopsy and everybody's saying the girl drowned in the pool. Well, what is beating me so is that how come the body rise so fast? That's my question. I can't understand because people are saying the body takes a couple of hours before but like for example the guy at Linden, they said the guys he was still at the bottom of the pool for almost the same amount of time. So I don't know, but I'm just trying to figure out what was going on because the autopsy said she drowned. Well, she drowned, but that is the part, and then the bruises and so on. Not bruises, the discolor.
But that the postmortem said that came from the movement of the body in the water.
Yeah.
The postmortem said that.
But I know the postmortem already also said drowned too. So it's kind of a little fishy.
Why is it fishy, sir?
Well, because I'm asking the question is that...
Well, if you're asking the questions, you should wait for the answers before you use a word like fishy.
No, but this is his opinion.
Well, I mean, if you compare that, people are saying that the guy at Linden, his body was in the water for so long, and then this girl body floated up so quick.
But there were a number of factors there. Body weight. I don't want to comment on these things because I'm not a medical doctor. There's body weight. Somebody called in on the live program 2-5 years ago and talk about female body react differently when it's drunk to male body. There are all kinds of equations. So anyway,
that now is clearing my doubts. So that's with the female and the male, and maybe with the age of that person, and she's a young person. That clear up everything.
Okay, sir. Thanks for coming through.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, buddy. Bye-bye.
Mr. Freddie?
Yes?
Good night, sir.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay. I always call myself a man. You remember when that girl drowned? I'm the first person telling you that girl drowned before autopsy ever. When I find the girl and I'm going to bring she on top the pool for the wall. Did I call on you on your program and tell you that girl drowned, that I witnessed a lot of drowned already? You can remember that?
No, sir. There's so many calls, I can't remember that.
Yes. Well, last week I missed the show because I was trying to get through you, but I missed the show. I tell you that a girl drowned because many times I witnessed death. angle of your hand and your foot can tell you that you're drunk. We have the situation of, because I see many women drunk, right at the Springland Coconut here. I see now when they have the O's telling at Springland. I don't know if it's the O's telling at the Springland. When they have the O's telling, we step lunch to go for Suriname. I see a lot of people drunk.
All right.
I will tell you. And for the inception, I tell people argument, people kill shit. I tell them, no, that you're drunk.
All right, sure.
For her, I have kids too, I have grandchildren.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Let's take this call. Let's get Gildarie take this call. Right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Hi, good evening, caller.
You got low your volume, sir.
Hello.
Please lower your volume. Hello, sir.
Lower your volume,
madam. What the hell?
There is another call.
No. There's no other call there.
Yes, good evening. Hello? Hello? No, they're not answered. Good evening, caller.
Hello, good night.
Yes, good night. Go right ahead.
Am I on air?
Yes, you are. Go right ahead.
Oh, okay, yes. So, thanks for taking my call. Yeah, so regarding this little girl that died, right? Oh, it's unfortunate. And these all these lunatics and hooligans and thieves and there's no word to describe them. They gotta put away for, gotta make them an example. Apart from that, a lot of these things that are happening in the anime would have never happened with the police. They act appropriately and professionally. For example, the police came regardless what, that this girl was some car pick her up and take her to whatever. If they know that, if the police know that, the commander and everybody, they should have gone after the car. According to what I've seen, if it's true, the father of the little girl said he had to go to the station in perfect harmony to find out and make a report. If that's true, I think the commander needs to go to jail.
Well, I think that it's a foregone conclusion that there was systematic failure at the level of the police, at the level of our technology that we have with surveillance cameras.
Listen what is transpiring in Guyana now. The demonic, the evil of people is coming out there. Right? And because of what? The police negligence. I'm not gonna take the side of these people robbing and breaking up and politicizing this thing. Period. Full stop. They need to be dealt with separately. But I'm talking about the police. The police. No, this is a child. This is not a teenager or a big woman who jump in a car and gone. She's of tender age, bro. 11 years of age, the police should have started pulling out their head of it. They should have gone chasing after the car. The father of that child shouldn't be gone into hire a car to go to the police station in perfect harmony, inquiring who is his driver and all of that. This is a command. This is high level of the police force you're talking about here,
Well, the commander has been, the commander has been suspended,
no, there's nothing about suspended. Listen,
you cannot do that. What you're saying there is that the due process. Let the investigation continue, and if you're going to fire him or so.
These people who are teaching, they got to get locked up and pass reports and jail. Same with the police. The police, they got to make you police. They got to face it, man.
All right, got that. Thank you very much for coming through, right? Thank you very much for coming through.
Yeah.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Good evening, caller.
Hello?
Hi, yes, go right ahead, sir.
Hey, good evening. I want to ask both of you guys a question. Now, the police had made a statement saying that the information that the commander has given out was false information, that the young lady was kidnapped, right? And they had made contacts with whoever is working in the camera area or whatever is the case. Now, if you're working in the camera area and I called you and said that, man, incident just occurred and I need you to run back the camera at so time, what does it have to do with the date? If I'm calling you and said that this situation has not too long happened and I need you to run back at so time, why do you have to punch in the date?
Let me answer you right there and then. It's a very good question. I have cameras. Our company, Pixels, has a number of cameras around the place.
if you want to review footage, we have limited footage on those cameras. If you don't put in the date, you could put in yesterday's date, but if you don't put in the date, you're going to have the wrong time. The police says that the lady says that she entered up a wrong date. She entered up yesterday's date. Was that the truth or not? We don't know, but that's what she said, and she was suspended as well. Pending the investigation. That's what she did not put in the date as of tonight, half an hour ago at Doubleday Hotel. What she did was put in a particular date, and they saw a figure leaving in a red Ram. That is what the police were told, or at least that's what was claimed.
But in a situation that you have to be very careful with the information that you're going to be giving back to the commander.
No, well, because of that, that's why I think I don't think anybody is happy when we talk about systematic failure at the level of the police. When we talk about so many things wrong, a combination of things that went wrong. The cameras in the hotel did not work. The hotel management act appropriately. That the police had the right posture there by keeping the people out. Was a search conducted? Why wasn't the pool drained? Why was the building lit afire, arson, among other things? There's so many things that's wrong with this case that you and I could continue talking about it for the rest of our lives.
Definitely. All right. Have a good night.
Thank you very much, sir. Bye-bye. Freddie, and I think what is so wrong, I think there's another call. Let's take it. Good evening, caller.
Hi, good evening. I'd like to offer an explanation as to what happened with Critic taking a video of the pool and explaining what he saw. He was simply explaining, basically, as a human being, what he was perceiving. And it is very possible, if you know physics and if you know how light works, that three things affected the visibility of a body at the bottom of that pool. One is diffusion, one is reflection, two is reflection, and three is refraction.
And you forget number four. You forget number four, but go on. You forget number four is a camera, a smartphone camera doesn't have that kind of resolution to penetrate the bottom of the pool. And he admitted that this evening. He admitted that this evening.
Yes. Now, I'm someone very technical, and resolution would not allow you to see to the bottom of the pool. What was happening, because the cloudiness was diffusing light, and it was making you feel as though you can see the bottom of the pool, but you couldn't. Now, the unfortunate, it's similar to a mirage. So the unfortunate thing about Critic is that he felt as though the pool was clear. But when we look at that video, it's murky. And
I saw it tonight. And thousands of people saw it on the thing tonight. That pool was definitely murky. You saw it tonight.
Yes, it was very murky. So I wish we can indeed get in contact with the instructor to find out the details of how they searched the pool. And I don't know if you guys have been swimming before, but if you have dropped something at the bottom of an 8-foot pool and you have to dive down and try to get it without seeing, it is very hard. And so I think that the most probable, the explanation of the most probable event here is that, unfortunately, bottom of the pool, and like critics said, so many people started looking elsewhere.
Yeah, but critic knew and whatnot. Critic knew that what he said and he videoed led to a series of events, and he corrected himself tonight. And I am one of them. I am one of them who said earlier that you need a very powerful camera to get to the bottom of the pool, and even that if the pool is murky. But I think Critic realized that what he had said last week now created a lot of tensions, and he's corrected it. Thanks for coming through.
Thank you very much. And you know what is sad, Freddie?
Yeah.
1 second, caller.
Hello?
Yeah, go right ahead, caller. Go right ahead. Good evening.
Yes, good night. Just to clarify something with the last caller and what Mr. What's his name there, Freddie Kissoon said about the camera can't penetrate the bottom of the pool.
A smartphone camera.
No, right, but Critic was looking with his eyes. He was not looking with the camera. Critic was looking at the pool and seeing what is in the pool. It has nothing to do with his phone. And he said, clearly you can see that. Clearly you can see. Those were his words. That's all I want to say.
But no, don't. Why? But sir, why are you saying that when the man said tonight that the pool was murky, and he said
the man said before, clearly you can see. No matter what he said tonight, what he said before.
Why? But he corrected himself tonight. He corrected himself tonight.
What? He was wrong when? Tonight or the night before?
He said tonight that he couldn't see the section of the pool that was murky. He said that tonight. Did you listen to him?
Yes, that is what he said tonight. But the night in question, he said you can clearly see.
Yes, and I asked him about that.
I think in essence, what Critic would have backtracked on what he said here.
He backtracked on what he said.
He's basically admitted.
He backtracked.
He basically admitted that.
Thanks for coming through, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming through.
I'm happy to know that you said he backtracked on what.
Okay, so let's take this call.
Thank you. Yes.
Good evening. Good evening.
Brother, how you doing?
I'm doing okay, sir.
I was watching that same video with y'all just now with Critics, right? You know what? You can't even see the bottom of the ladder. You couldn't see even to the glare at the bottom of the water, the ladder foot. You couldn't see it. That was dusty, terrible dusty.
Okay.
Just because the reflection of the lights, them and things.
You got a call, yeah?
You know.
Okay, sir. A lot of caller coming through. Thanks for coming through. Let's take this call.
Thank you very much, sir. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Good evening, caller. Yes, good evening, caller. Hello.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, on that same Critics. Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening, sir. Go right ahead.
Yeah, on that same Critics video, he said that the pool is clear to some extent, right? That means that there was a doubt. That means that there was a doubt in how he was explaining about the transparency of the pool, because he did say that. Hello.
Yeah. We listen to you there. Yes.
Yes, I'm saying on Critics video, it is recorded when he said to some extent, and that means there was some sort of doubt in the clarity. Right?
As far as he could see, based on what he said there, when I looked at it the night when he was live, because that case kind of was intriguing at that point in time. I couldn't understand what was unfolding before me. And basically, my impression of what he was saying, as far as I could see, that is my impression of his words. As far as I can see, I can't see anybody in the pool.
Yeah, but he mentioned the term to some extent. That means there were some.
We could play around with the words of what it is.
However, also, right now, the video that Critics had can be a vital evidence, because if they analyze that video with high resolution image, you can able to see what's really going on at the back of the pool, at the back of the video.
That I believe that could happen. I believe the intelligence.
Yes, high resolution.
He said. No. He said. He said he don't know, but I am a layman, complete layman when it comes to those things, and I know those intelligence agencies in the top countries of the world can apply X-ray to this video, and you could see the bottom of the pool.
Some technology.
I don't know why he said that. I don't know why he said that. That could happen. That could high resolution. Yeah. That could happen.
It's gonna pick up that thing, and I think the FBI should call him, because if an ordinary person should do it, these people who get this kind of thing again,
they're gonna
would not accept
they would not accept the results. So it's best you call in the FBI expert and let they do it so that, you'll know it's credible people you're getting this information.
See, there's so many things that's wrong with this case. In addition to what was listed before, the fact that the hotel burned, it could have probably, if you're using that something went wrong in the hotel and the body was there or whatever is the case. So if you're using that theory, a crime scene was there. Let's say you wanted to have a look at the camera, whether the camera were indeed done. We can't be able to decide that. So there's a combination of errors and faults here that, we got to really regret it. It should never ever happen again.
Yeah, but before you can ever think about murder, you need to clear up the accident first, the confirmation of accident.
Well, that is what an investigation. We could only talk. That's what an investigation is going to have. I presume.
Yeah, but I have seen the lawyer doctor. He had gone straight into, like this murder and thing, and he didn't really claim it because there's a possibility. It can either be accident or it can be a murder. Now, seeing that critics has the video there, if he analyzed that video, he will know, can confirm to say, well, no, this is not a murder or it is a murder. Depends on if the body is in the video or not. Also, if you listen to the father and others said they guard the pool all night and the surrounding, right? That means to say that it's a miracle for the body just pop up back into the pool when you guard that.
You could not have been guarding the pool and they were outside. They had no access to that pool area there. That pool area there, they were blocked off. The police was standing in front of the hotel and that area wasn't secluded.
But you can see the pool from the road.
Yeah, but if you see,
and then
but there's something else, Saul. Something else, Saul.
No, there's a
something else. No.
There's a blue.
No, but tell me something. You have dozens and dozens of people outside the gate of a hotel, and somebody can come and throw a body in the pool, man.
Well, that is what I want. That is what I'm trying to establish. How is it possible for so many people keep guarding this pool? And then still somebody breached everybody vision that you could not have seen when the body was placed into the pool. They're assuming.
Because there's so many people outside making noise and looking in, the killer would be stupid to throw the body in the pool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And then also, if they investigate the blue house across the road, if there's a camera from the blue house pointing straight to the pool, you will be able to observe when the drowning really took place. I don't know if there's a camera from the blood because you can clearly see a blue house across the next thing, Mr. Fred.
No, we gotta go.
Let's take this call.
No, let me just say this. I'm on it now. I think that the camera review of that camera should get the complainant should be there to see the camera.
Okay, sir. Thanks a lot. Hello.
Listen to me, please.
No, we got plenty calls coming on, man.
We heard you. What you're saying is that the family should be there too when they're reviewing it. Thank you.
Like other instances, like people, jam your vehicle.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hold a minute, caller. Yes. Thank you very much.
Just hold a minute, caller.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Okay, then.
On this incident, nobody, no little child or nobody didn't had the camera out filming on this on this pool. Because I know the young people is always take out the camera, film, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're taking out photographs. What happened that day? This is just my take.
No, there's an interesting thing there. What happened?
Nobody filmed the search party. Thanks for coming through.
Yeah.
But you got a call there?
Yeah, let's go.
Hello, good evening.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I would like to make 2 points, 2 important points. One, if the police and nobody, the hotel owner had nothing to hide, why would the commander implicate somebody driving a red Ram, had him arrested, taken to the station under a false claim that they have evidence that this child is in the car with the man, and is suing the state for $100 million.
The man has indeed sued the state. I understand he sued the state.
The man is going to sue. The man is suing the state, and the man will win, which will show
it is right. Why, now, if you have nothing to hide, why go to these extremes to hide certain information? Secondly, the hotel owner, it is public knowledge. Mr. Kissoon and Gildarie are trying to make this thing look like a bit comfortable space. The hotel owner went to jail under the last administration for something that was similar nature.
Not the hotel. So you're misleading people, not the hotel owner. The hotel manager.
The hotel owner was went to jail.
No, sir, that's not. You're misleading people. The hotel manager, and they were freed in the case.
They were freed in the case?
So thanks for coming through. Bye-bye. You got a call there?
Good evening, caller.
Hi, good evening.
Go right ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, I am a Hindu, and I'm so much disturbed about how these people take in religion into their...
Could you just tone down whatever you're listening to there? We're getting a feedback.
Okay. I said I'm a Hindu, and with due respect to the child's death, why are these people taking religion into this whole episode?
Well, that's an interesting observation. We saw somebody who called himself an artist, I think it's Baby Skello, had to do...
There's a Guyanese guy, Baby Skello.
Right. I'm not talking about his...
No, but what I'm saying, people are always going to come up, but you don't think that has a connection to this entire thing? It does.
No,
It stemmed from that, because this is how they think. And
why would it stem from that? If they say that the owner of the hotel is a Hindu and he do sacrifice, it's not only Hindu people who sacrifice. Black people do sacrifice too. So why put religion into it? Why go destroy the temple? Why break up all the murti in the temple?
Yeah, we heard about that.
That's not fair, and that's not supposed to be. We got to come out and say something. It's not right.
Look, at the end of the day, and this is why how I started this program here, I don't think for the last couple of weeks we've shown or we have been in our finest moments, and it is not something that we should have a repeat of. We have to be better people. We are getting into a better position in terms of the fastest growing economy in the world, and this is definitely not a reflection of that. I grieve for that family. I grieve for everybody in the end who fell for that little kid. It's a child. It's an 11-year-old.
Somebody's life. It could be anybody's life.
Yes, that daughter is our daughter as well.
Why dragging religion into it?
Yep, and that's that's the ugly side of things. It's the ugly side of things.
Society.
Right. I agree with you, and some things I don't know if there's any explanation for that. I can't explain it.
And then how about the sound with the artists? He needs to answer.
I
listened to him, Baby Skello.
They should charge him.
Yeah, Baby Skello.
The evidence is there. I want to see which lawyer can get him off. The evidence is there. That's a song.
They're abusing their privilege now.
Yeah, he tried to apologize today, and the kind of thing.
Baby Skunk rather than Baby Skello.
It was unacceptable. It is unacceptable what he did there. There's no explanation for that.
No matter what happened, Hindus don't go against no religion and do anything like what they're doing.
And you look at his body language and the words that he chose, and even the father, even at that point in time, they were not apologetic. They came up with a narrative, a different story to tell the people. I wasn't talking about the Mother Lakshmi. I was talking about She Lakshmi. It's some Mother Lakshmi. I listen to it's crazy.
Because we are illiterate. We don't know anything.
No. But I don't think his body language. I don't accept his apologies. I don't.
About our religion and our wording.
I don't. He has to come better than that. And
he has to come better. They should charge him and jail him. That's what they should do.
We got to make some people example in this place now.
That's not
stop this nonsense.
That's not a waste crime, a hate crime, what he did.
Total disrespect. But I hear you, ma'am, and I thank you very much for that. There's a kind of conversation we got to have in this country. Why do we do some of the things that we do? Some things are beyond explanation. Some things are just not logical, and we just amazed at some things our Guyanese people just do. You can't explain people protesting
and then with all been going on there, that now they say, they go in country and destroy all the mandates. How that's my concern. How mandates get into it?
All right, madam.
Thank you very much for coming.
Our time has come.
Take care.
I think we can only take one more call. If there's a call coming.
Yeah, there's one call, and let's take it.
That's the last call.
Good evening, caller.
Hi, good evening.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll talk about the girl jumped in the pool, right? When critics wasn't there, critics visual immediately and check and search. I bet you they will discover something.
Well, so many questions, huh? Why was the hotel burned down?
Watch. Why they? I think someone was up there. I think Leroy or somebody was up there by a room. When you move from there, they have smoke from there, right?
A lawyer was up in the room. Which room?
Some police named Smith. So the video said, but you got to be careful. So
yeah.
Those videos could be doctored.
Yeah.
You could have a burning room and you could put a man there. And but we gotta go though. Our time is
all
come.
right. Thank you very much for coming through there, caller.
Thanks for coming through.
Bye
bye.
Freddie,
thanks for being with us. Our time has come. Our operators have to go. It's late into the night. It's after 10. You were watching a discussion between myself, Leonard Gildarie, and Mikhail Rodrigues, known as Guyanese Critic, about the Adriana Young tragedy. And I think one of the things that came out of this program this evening is Mikhail Rodrigues admitted that what he filmed may not be a true reflection of what was in the pool. So he has, in fact, taken back that. And he said the reason why he said there was nothing in the pool, because he was acting on what the family members have said to him. Leonard Gildarie, thanks for being with us. I hope we see you next week and the coming weeks.
Thank you very much. I think just quickly, Freddie, just 1 minute. I want to wish all the moms a happy Mother's Day, and all the mothers and the sisters and everybody who are moms as well, and even the sisters who play a mom role, and even the fathers who play a mom role too. But at this point in time, I'm not sure when I'm going to be back. I hope to be back soon. But we have to do a little better as a people within our country. This is a beautiful country. I think there's a lot of open questions and systematic failures within our system at the level of the police, at the level of the different agencies, 911 calls, and accountability has to be a watchword that we stand as we look to better this country. We cannot continue accepting this and allowing people to get away with literally murder. And I do stand with the family of little Adriana Young. She's my daughter. She's your daughter as well. And this should never happen. This should not be a repeat of that. I want justice for her. I want justice for this country. We need answers. Good night. Enjoy your weekend.